I am a queen. I will rise daily. I am rising. Tell the people she is rising. Sometimes you just need to talk it out. Sometimes you might have something going on in your life, and just the mere fact that you had somebody to share it with, you feel 10 times better. We must focus on the blessings in our life. It shifts your perspective from what's wrong to what's going well. Hey billionaires, it is your girl Blessin Destiny with this episode of the B Word. Welcome to the B Word podcast, everyone. Today we're diving into a topic of resilience, how to bounce back from challenges and build a life that thrives despite obstacles. We'll explore 3 key talking points, each designed to help you boost your ability to handle adversity and strengthen your faith along the way. So let's get started. Our 3 talking points for today are going to be about belief in yourself, building a supportive network, and bouncing back with gratitude. As we dive deeper into our conversation of building resilience, bouncing back, and beyond, our talking points are going to be belief in yourself, building a supportive network, and bouncing back with gratitude. Okay, so guys, let's start with talking point number 1, belief in yourself. First of all, are you resilient? Can you answer that question? Do you know what resilience is? I always like to start with a definition, and I usually just go to dictionary.com because I start there, even though it might derive from a Latin word or a Greek word or something. But just for English sake, let me just get an understanding of what the word means. So it says resilience is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. That's resilience. Toughness. The second definition goes on to say the ability of substance or an object to spring back into shape. Elasticity. I put softness because the softer you are, the more moldable you are to put back into shape. And it gave me a contrast to the word toughness in the first example. So let's read those again. The capacity to withstand and to recover quickly from difficulties. I don't know about you, but if I am going through a tough situation, I don't want to be there long. I want to get through this as quickly and as swiftly as I possibly can. That doesn't mean I don't feel the pain. That doesn't mean I don't learn the lesson. But I like being a quick learner, because on the other side of difficulty is the opposite of that, ease. And if I can learn the lesson and embrace the difficulty, the quicker I can get to ease than living days in difficulty. So to me, resilience is about withstanding to recover quickly being the key word. The quicker you get to your dream life, the longer you get to live there. We're not moving in anxiety and anxiousness, but we do desire to live difficulty behind us as quickly as we can. That is resilience. That is toughness. The second definition, the ability of a substance or an object to bounce back into shape. Elasticity. Being able to stretch. Being moldable, being changeable. That means sometimes you can't be 10 toes down in toughness, because then you'll also miss the lesson from not being soft enough. So when they go around here calling us Black women too resilient, Black woman, I want you to remember the definition is softness. The definition is toughness, and knowing when, where, and how quickly and how slowly to turn each one on and off. That is what makes us resilient. And a lot of times we never even had the option, but thank God for it. Imagine being so spoiled, such a, like, you're just so green. So what do they call them? Trust fund babies, that you don't even know how to deal with the realities of life. I remember when I used to hear about suicide as a child before they poisoned us, but that's another podcast for another day to mess up our minds. When people were really just killing themselves because of the hardships of life, it was always the rich. And I used to always be like, why are they so wealthy? Well, I'm here damn near in the projects, And I don't see nobody killing themselves. I see a lot of joy, love, and happiness. What is wrong with them people? And so it's our resilience that no matter where y'all have placed us in history, we always bounce back with toughness and softness, knowing when each one is necessary. And we can apply a little bit more pressure and the quickness to advance the whole community. But again, I'm going to stay focused because that is another topic for another day. So now at least we know what resilience is. So now I want to talk to you and just say this, that resilience begins with a strong belief, not a medium belief, not a lukewarm belief, not a here, there, gone, tomorrow belief, a strong belief in yourself, not your husband, not your mama, not your children. Only thing we can substitute higher than that is God. And God and yourself and your abilities. When you face setbacks, it's essential to have faith that you will overcome them. This self-belief acts as the buffer against doubt and discouragement, okay? So when you have resilience, it's the faith that you know you gotta win, that you will be the lender and not the borrower, that you will be the head and not the tail, that you will be above and not beneath, because it's written in your destiny that is for you. And you know with your capabilities and your faith in God that it has to be that, and you won't waver from that. So every day you wake up and you give it your all, whether it's the day you got to be tough, you give it every piece of toughness that you have. If it's your day that you need to be soft, you know how to be so soft. They'll be like, I thought the girl only knew how to be hard. So it's about being moldable and used by God, used by yourself for what best aligns with you, no matter what that circumstance may be. Okay? So I want to read that to y'all one more time. Resilience begins with a strong belief in yourself and abilities. When you face setbacks, it's essential to have faith that you can overcome them. This self-belief acts as a buffer. The self-belief in you acts as a buffer against the doubts and against the discouragement. It's like a demon trying to come find its home in you. It can't. Everything that demon loves does not reside in you. If there's no doubt here, there's no fear here. There's nothing for it to eat here, because you believe that you will succeed no matter what. It can't even feed you any negativity. You're solid on that. All right, that's resilience. So one exercise that I want to give you guys. I wanted to give y'all some examples of when I exercise my own resilience in life. And one thing I would say was quitting my job when I was working in the referral service industry, in paralegal and law industry as an employee. And it just did not work with my life anymore. I was 6 months pregnant. I was a high-risk pregnancy because of fibroids. I had a lot of doctor's appointments. Before that, I was a girl who would never take a lunch break. But because of my pregnancy, I was the girl who was coming back late from the lunch breaks. And now that's a problem. I'm like, well, there's the 7 years that I've been here and never took a break count for anything. And I was dating the boss. There was a lot going on. So it was just really my time to go. To be honest with you, before that pregnancy happened, I got a word from God saying that I was going to lose that job, and I was going to lose the relationship that went along with that job. So it was really a prophecy fulfilled. That didn't make it no easier to walk away. But because it was no longer aligning with my world and with my universe, it was causing havoc. It was causing restlessness. And I have learned in all seasons of life how to have peace. And when I can't find peace, what I do is escape, because I'm not going to stay at war if I don't have to. You might want to win every single battle. I just want to win the war. And to win the war means you lose some battles. So this was a battle I was ready to lose. But I just knew the promises of God that I wasn't a loser. that I am a winner. So to walk away from this, I knew God was going to bless me through because of my faith, because of my resilience with something better. But I had no clue what that something better was. So walking out with it, I had some idea, but it was no promises. It was like, man, we hoping for the best. We know what could happen, but we ain't even speaking on the worst. Lord, I'm 6 months pregnant, and I not only have my mouth to feed this time, but I have a baby to feed. And one thing about it, I'm not going to be no sorry mom. So I know whatever I can't do, I'm probably doing too much. I could rely on you to do it all, but I don't know how to sit still, Lord. So please, Jesus, do it. And he did. But it took me being able to walk out on being bold, being brave, being courageous, having fear, but doing it anyway. That is resilience. Having fear, but doing it anyway. And that 6-month-old pregnancy is now a 6-year-old child, and I'm still working for myself. I'm still traveling the world. I'm traveling the world and got to clock in for nobody. If it hadn't been for him, I would have probably still been clocking in, which is nothing wrong with that. But once you get a taste of freedom, you don't want to go back to not being free. And to just wake up and go and do as you please I never asked God for that. That is something God just gave to me because I knew the principles that I believed in. If you didn't work, you don't eat. And I was working and didn't mind working. I was prepared to work for a long time, but I just want to make a lot of money working. I know most people retire at 60, okay? But I just don't want to make a measly salary. I want to make a lot of money. But God has even just having the baby changed my mindset about, no, actually, I think I do not want to work to 60 and I want to make money fast and short. And just giving me a new understanding of how God works in time. We work in seconds. He works in moments. And just all these new way of looking at things. When the pregnancy was sent to me to seem like a negativity, because that pregnancy broke up me and the guy I was seeing at the time, because he was not the father. Let's go there, Murray. He was not the father. So that was sent to destroy me, to destroy my self-esteem, to destroy my self-worth, feeling like you wait to be 32 years old to have your baby this way. Like, that's for young girls. You're a grown lady. And just having to push through with a resilience like that is not going to stain me, baby. I am a queen. I will rise daily. I am rising. Tell the people she is rising no matter what. Because anybody that reads that Bible for real, ain't nobody made it through clean. Everybody got a stain of some sort of another. Jesus' lineages comes from prostitutes, or at least one. And we can name her by name. Her name is written in the book of life as this man's great, the greatest man of all time, great grandmama was a prostitute. So you got to learn how to embrace your journey, because all of us got one, and see it as an adventure, and let nobody shame you, because God ain't even shaming you. And that wasn't even in my notes. So we're going to stay focused. And then another time I wanted to mention one that wasn't as me as an adult and that didn't involve money, which I can't even remember, because anyway, what I just said to y'all, because I'm just on a little spiritual high right now. What story? About quitting my job, 6 months pregnant. So I had to exercise resilience. We're always exercising resilience every single day, but these are moments that are highlighted as, oh my God, girl, you was resilient. I remember being no more than in the 2nd grade, and I was playing on the park in my neighborhood at that time. And I remember an older kid, he felt like a teenager, approached me in an inappropriate way and began to pull his pants down. And I can vaguely remember this, but I can remember this. And I believe I saw a part of his private area that he was trying to expose to me. All I can tell y'all is I ran from that part to my house faster than Usain Bolt. That is the point I wanted to make to you. That was my resilience. When I got home, it wasn't even a fear of, oh my God, this could have happened to me. Oh my God. It was like, girl, do you see how fast you just, like, I was a chubby 2nd grader. Do you see how, they used to call me bread basket. Bread basket. Do you see how, I was so impressed. That was my resiliency. In the time of danger, I knew I had to win. I was not leaving here like that. And I can't remember him as much as I can remember, because I always focus on the bright side. I've always had that gift without even knowing it was a gift, to forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. I'm just grateful that I am here to live, breathe, and tell the story, because it could have been another way. So a way to exercise your belief is to create a belief board. Write down affirmations or scriptures that resonate with you, such as the one I have tattooed here. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This episode has been brought to you by Your Accident, Your Money. So if you or anyone you know are ever in a car accident, call us 888-7-MONEY-8. We will not only get them paid for their personal injury settlement, but we pay you for providing us with the referral in the first place if we're able to help them. There's not many qualifying factors other than they cannot be the at-fault driver. Is really the only thing that disqualifies you. And we pay you $100 to $200 per person in that car that we are able to help. So if you're ever in a wreck, let us help you get your check. 888-7-MONEY-8. Even greater things Jesus said we can do, and he did some mighty awesome things. Place this board somewhere visible to remind yourself of the inner strength that you carry. That inner strength is your inner God. That inner strength is you remembering you're made in God's image, that you are God's daughter. And even on some days, as lately, it's been feeling like, God, am I your daughter? Because you're not listening. You don't hear me. I don't treat or rock like that. He does hear you, and he is being every type of father. For whatever reason, mothers and fathers, we have to punish our children. Sometimes they don't understand why they're being punished. The same with us. So sometimes we are asked, I had this epiphany today. I was praying to God about my boyfriend and some things I wanted him to do. And God was like, the same thing you're praying that you want me to fix in him, you are the pot calling the kettle black. I told you to do X, Y, Z, and you still haven't done them. You told him to do X, Y, Z, and he still hasn't done it. It don't make it right, but you can clean up your own home. The cleaner your home is, the more, if you want to be a caller outer, you can call somebody out. But at least clean up your home. How you not going to listen to the Most High God and then complain about somebody not listening to you? Maybe it's intentional so you can see how that feels. Does it feel good? It doesn't feel good, does it? And that's exactly how I feel, daughter. So listen to me when I'm talking to you. And I feel like that's how God be talking to me. I'm like, you know what? You just me. Men talk about how women aren't accountable. When he was mixing up my creativity bowl, he poured too much accountability into mine. Because I swear, I could be wrong, dead wrong. And I'm going to let you know I was wrong. Dead wrong. Now what? All right. Talking point number 2 is building a supportive network, guys. I wanted to speak on this because for a long time, the word network used to really cause anxiety in me because I felt like I didn't really have one. I felt like I had access to several, but I don't know if it's my chemical makeup that the loner in me, even though I'm a people person, it's hard for me to build relationships where when there's a lot of communication needed or a lot of follow-up needed. I'm like, I just thrive in my solitude, and I don't like to do too much talking when I and being expected to do so. Like, I like to pour when spirit says pour, and sometimes lots of networks need you to pour. You're not in the ability to pour, and then when you can't pour, it makes you look bad. So I like being in settings that understand how I move. That's why group coaching, I learned, is not good for me. I am the girl who would have to pay for the luxury or the convenience, because things at a convenience store is normally higher for one-on-one coaching because it's not as much chatter. I can block out the extra noise. Like, I don't do well with a lot of extra that does not necessarily have to be with my hot dog. Like, I like ketchup on my hot dog. I like relish on my hot dog. So when people start talking about how they like mustard, I can hear that a little bit, but now you got your sauerkraut people. Now you got your mayo people. Now you got your people. They done switched the subject, talking about how they like grits and I like mine with salt. And I'm like, yo, I came here to discuss making my hot dog better. how do we even get here? Y'all get what I'm trying to say? Like, it just be too much. I get I didn't realize how I don't like to get distracted. I'm a preventative person. So when you know who you are, you can set up things accordingly. So it's like, why would I come to your chaotic gym when I know I'm an office girl? Like, I'm going where I thrive, if that makes any sense. I think I got off topic a little bit. So anyway, I said all that to say the word network used to, as a loner, kind of used to scare me. Like, oh my God, I'm not exercising my networks appropriately. Still, your network is your net worth. But if you know the right few people, quality over quantity. And I'm just here to show those who struggle like me with groups and being a loner, which we have to, if I wouldn't even call it a struggle, you know who you are. And because you know who you are, you find ways that work with you better, because that's smart, right? So I've learned that I call it the Oprah model. Like, she is Oprah. She is the star of her universe, and she has supporting planets around her. They're just as important, and they have different roles, but they kind of understand that Oprah is the sun. And not even the sun in a negative way or in an ego way, but just in the one who brought the opportunity to the play way. And we give homage to that. And so I'm creating that ecosystem. And to me, it looks like a very close knit one. Like, she has her core people. She has her best friend. She has a lover. She's very spiritual. Everything else dwells from that. But she has her core principles, and I'm kind of like that too. So resilience is often bolstered by relationships. Surrounding yourself with supportive individuals, may not be a lot, but friends who are speaking the same language you speak, family members, creates a safety net to go when going through tough times. You want to make sure that there are people speaking faith, love, hope, happiness over your life. Like in this book of Job, when he was going through, his friends came to visit him from a perspective of love. His friends was just as perplexed, if not more perplexed, why he was experiencing and enduring so much pain and tragedy. And the only logic they could come up with is, Job, you must have done something for God to curse you. And Job just kept saying, I promise y'all, I know for a fact I have done nothing. And his friends was just like, you gotta be wrong. Like, all I'm saying is, one thing that I love about my man, when I get to talking like that, he be like, you gotta be wrong. I'm like, but the only obvious thing is this. And he just is like, no, but God said, and it's not over yet. And that's what, I've said all that to say, I don't have a lot of friends, but the few that I do have, him, my mother, Barack is in training. It's because when I am weak, it's because they are strong. Not strong with logic, but strong with the faith that makes no sense logically. And you got friends who will mean well logically, because logic means smart. Because I struggle with that sometimes. Sometimes I'm too smart for my own good. With God, I be thinking I'm smarter than him sometimes because I'm so smart. And he be like, girl, really? that is my ego issue. Like, I think I know it all, literally. And not in a overshadowing of people way, but like, I'm going to let them have it because in my heart I know I'm right. That kind of way. And so sometimes I'm like, God, I know you heard me. And God was like, no, I want you to, it's going to take X, Y, and Z time, alignment. And I'm like, no, I'm already aligned. And he's like, how you going to tell me you already aligned? I know you better than you know you. You don't even know how many strands of hair you have on your head. And I do, young lady. Listen to your father. I created you, not the other way around. So I'm just keeping it real, because who else is going to do it? We need real conversation. So yeah, back to that. So you want to make sure that these people in your lives speak. If they have logic, they also have the faith, because his ways is not your ways. His thoughts is not your thoughts. So when he's elevating you and everything is just feeling so ugly and just disgusting and just like Job, and it's just like, but double that Job got. But he had to go through it for no damn reason to get it. It just be like that sometimes. The B is for it just be like that sometime. All right. So now some points I want to talk about. The reason why it's good to have a good supportive network, sometimes you just need to talk it out. Sometimes you might have something going on in your life, and just the mere fact that you have somebody to share it with, you feel 10 times better. And talking it over in your head as an overthinker versus talking it out loud actually gives you other ways to think about it. And then the other day I was on the phone with my homegirl, Shell, and shout out to you, Queen. It was the questions she was asking me, but I knew it was iron sharpening iron. It was an axe talking to another axe. And I was telling her things and saying things, and she was asking me questions. And I'm sure I knew intentionally she was doing something to my spirit, but also subconsciously, I don't think she knew everything she was doing. Like, the questions was questions I was looking for answers for, but I would have never asked myself the question the way she asked them, because we're like night and day, but on the same play. She run with the sun, I'm running with the moon. She run with the moon, I'm running with the sun, but we create the day. So when she was asking me those questions, they were opposite to the questions I were asking, but gave me new perspectives. It was perfect. So that's why you want your counsel to be like that. Okay? Giving you good sound wisdom. Okay? Loners usually have heightened self-belief in general, because a lot of times when people have posses, not all the time, it's because they need encouragement. It's because they need a crowd, because they thrive off of other people's energy. But those of us who think it's a negative to be a loner, if you look at the glass half full, you have less to compete with. You have less naysayers drawing you to the negative direction. You have already made up in your mind. You are your biggest cheerleader, and you are not going to give up on yourself. Even when your friends, your Joe friends mean well, and they're just logically showing you all the mistakes you did actually make, you know that don't matter, because God is forgiving you and you're moving forward, and you're going to get everything your heart truly desires. And that's what you focused on. So when you being a loner, it's easier to just stay focused on yourself, the belief in yourself. This may be off topic, but I preach self first, everybody else second. When you choose yourself over people, you are the people. The more you choose yourself and get in the habit of choosing yourself, the people around you choose themselves and get in the habit of choosing themselves, the community cleans itself up. Now we have a community of like minds, because each individual decided to clean up their mind. It's hard to be half clean mind and you can encourage other people to clean their mind, but you know what really gets people to change? When they see you walk that walk. They heard you talk that talk, everybody talking. And you know a lot of people walking. So when they see you do that walk, I saw you. I seen it with my own eyes. If you can do it, then I can do it too. So just want to say, loners, embrace it. If change it if you want to change it, but I just happen to love it. Embrace it and use that for your amplification of yourself and as a gift, and how that works. There's nobody around to talk you out of your dreams, because if you're really dreaming, they sound insane. And logically, everybody wants to talk you out of them. So the fact that you have the ability to not be talked out of your dreams already sets you light years ahead of those who are listening to their friends, family, and naysayers pollute their brains. They're going to get it done, but they got to fight all that pollution. All right. So that was, you don't trust in others, you trust in yourself. We talked about that. And we talked about Oprah. I was reading that article, which really made me start reevaluating how I just want to design my life. I'm like, I'm going to model a few things after her, because it just really is a resemblance of my personality, a resemblance of the things I truly believe in my core values. So we talked about those things. So an exercise that I think would be helpful for this would be to just identify 1 to 3 people in your life that inspire you, that lift your spirits during challenging moments. Do not let that be the only time you reach out to those people, because givers feel used if that's the only time they hear from you. And your givers and your gift givers need to be celebrated Not every day, but thought of for no reason at all. So once you identify these people, it's a blessing that you have them to go through in your time of challenges, but also make sure you reach out to them in your good days as well, okay? Because we can get drained from hearing about your challenges all the time. So even if you have to schedule these things, that's important, because if these people really help you with clarity, it's really important that you don't forget about them. And if you have to schedule it, but don't forget about them. And then this is where your goals, and you guys can collaborate and keep pouring into one another, and just really be mindful of those relationships that you're building when you're called to be resilient. Okay, everybody can't be in your ear, because so many people want to see you fail. So many people don't believe you can win, and they like to put their fear on you. And y'all, it's people out here putting things on you, and they're not even doing it on purpose. It's subconscious. Forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they do. Is one of the realest, all of this is the realest, but one of the realest things the Bible could have said, because people don't think. But we won't talk about that on another day. All right. So the B is for Bible. I'm going to give y'all a scripture for that. John 16:33 says, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." Jesus' words offers hope and assurance that even in the face of trouble, believers, because the B is for believers, can find strength and peace in him. We don't even know what peace is, y'all. That's another podcast for another day. We're going to come back to that one and look it up and go through it. Most of us are addicted to trauma. Most of us are in an... I didn't realize how much... Even when I realized I was having anxiety after watching Inside Out 2 and seeing how anxiety functioned in Riley's head, I thought I cured it. But then it's like peeling back an onion. I got rid of some layers. There's a voice that whispers in your head that you can't hear well unless you listen for it. There's a voice that whispers even louder than that whisper. There's a voice that whispers even louder than that whisper. There's a voice that whispers even louder than that whisper. And it goes all the way down generations. And to me, I feel like I've gotten peeled back a few layers. So I thought I had cleaned up the egg. But no, it was just a deeper layer ready to be cleaned up. And I said all that to say the anxiety started because of that. There's another layer. There's another layer. There's another layer. There's another layer. Prevention. What I'm going to do. Peace. God is just saying we know there's layers. There's going to always be layers. Something to fight for, something to battle for, a war for. But I've already fought the war for you. Not everybody, because everybody ain't chose me. But believers who have chosen me, and you believe with everything in you that I am the truth, the light, and the way, chill out. Stop overthinking. It is already done. Get clear on your desires. Focus on that. Get clear in the word of God. Focus on that. Get clear of the principles of the way the Lord works. Not knowing what he knows, but the principles of his way. And stay in peace. Peace and gratitude, which leads us to our third talking point. Bouncing back with gratitude. Because you know what? I'm spoiled. I'm a spoiled daughter. Why, Lord? I know you said it's going to be trouble. I just read John 16:33. But I'm just the daughter who can take a little bit of trouble. This is a lot of trouble, Lord. What we doing? God, Heavenly Father. And that's when you stay in the storm longer. You got to learn to say, wow, God really has it raining on my life right now. My soil must have been really, really, really dry. I am so grateful for the water to water my roots, because I thought I was watered because my leaves was getting the water, but my roots were thirsty. Thank you for the rain, Lord. Like, God, you know what? When I did this and it didn't work out, I thought I was never going to love again. But the guy who you've sent me now, was that even love in the first place? Like, I thank you for creating space for another person to love me. I've got to experience multiple loves, and each time they get better. Instead of saying things like, oh my God, you broke my heart. Oh my God, with it. Gratitude. And then your little frequency seeds looks for things that are similar. So if you're throwing out whatever you are throwing out, you're throwing out your fishing pole for more of it. So I'm like, God, I'm so lonely. And I just keep feeling lonelier. I never want to be the mom like so obsessed with my children that I lost myself. But even with that, it's like you have to learn to love yourself even more. And you have to learn to love what's around you more. It's not that you're obsessed with your children, but this 6-year-old Barack that you got right now, he gonna be 13-year-old Barack one day. He gonna be 16-year-old Barack one day. And he ain't gonna be looking for his mama the way he's looking for you right now. And that love that you want for the man that you don't feel that you're looking for right now, you want it because you don't have it. It's coming. When it comes, and you're however old you are, and Barack is 17 years old, you're going to be missing that love he used to show you when he was 6 years old. That's never coming back. He's going to always love you. He's going to always love you more. But the way that love felt when he was 6 versus when he was 3, which was the sweetest, versus when he was 2, which was also the sweetest, versus when he was just 6 months and he just started cooing, you get none of that back. Enjoy it. Soak it up. When you get your man, enjoy it. Soak it up. But be like the lady in the Bible with a little bit of oil. If this is the oil you have, pour. And guess what? The more you pour, the more pouring you attract. It's a principle. So you might as well pour. Because how you pour anything is how you pour everything. Get in the habit of pouring. Get in the habit of loving everything. I got selective love real bad. I'm going to love this, but I'm not going to love that. I'll go hard for this, but I ain't going to go hard for that. I'm in a season of discipline of going hard, period. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. And you know what is beautiful about a season of going hard, period? When you learn how to go hard, everything gets easier. So next season is easier. Until I learn a new skill of going hard, until that's easier. I remember when I started trading last year, hard ain't even the word. It's still hard, but it's so much easier. And I just can't believe how easier it is. It's not where I wanted to be, but I'm not where I was. And it's trading talks about how many people quit trading because it's so hard to do. But I decided I'm going to be resilient. This is going to change my family for generations and generations and generations. And I am the generational blessing that's going to get it done. And I don't care how frustrated, how mad, how scared, I'm going to show up. And God is going to see my endurance. And I'm going to see my endurance. And my son is going to see my endurance. My mama's going to see my endurance. My neighbor's going to see my endurance. My trainer going to see my endurance. And all of them get encouraged to have their own endurance. And that's the way it works. But that's bouncing back with gratitude. We must focus on the blessings in our life. It shifts your perspective from what's wrong to what's going well. I call it the blessed mindset. Helps you navigate through difficult situations with a positive outlook. The best way to navigate this life is just decide you're going to see the good in everything. The good in everything. Train yourself to see the good in everything. Everything is working out for your good. If it was horrible today, but in a year, maybe 2 months, maybe 2 days, maybe 2 hours, I done been boohoo crying and the next day celebrating because it changed that quickly. And it probably was just my perspective that changed. You gotta, because I didn't appreciate the little things, but God blesses those who love the little things. Big B energy. I don't want that. I was just telling my mom this morning, God revealed to me that I would throw away the whole kit bang and caboodle when I could take a piece of something. Let me make that make more sense. So when I tell you God be talking to me, it flows like a river. It's just thought, information. And I'm supposed to be writing books and writing out podcasts. And I'm like, God, you're talking too fast. I don't even know how to write the notes of what I'm supposed to say because it's too fast. And I was just not writing anything. I was just like, I can't. God said, well, just write what you can write. When you trade every day, you know you can't win the whole stock market. What you do, you're a scalper. You're in there to get what you can get. You just need a few points to be profitable. When I'm dropping downloads on you that should appear to you to be worth more than gold and any precious jewel, you need to be trying to grab what you can. What this sounds like to me, Blessin, is I'm dropping billions of dollars. I'm making it rain on you literally. And you're saying because you can catch every dollar, you're not going to catch no dollar? I thought you said you was a smart girl. See how your logic is not really logical? It don't even make... You don't make no sense. Your logic don't make no sense. So please don't try to think for me. Please. Because obviously, you thought you was a good thinker, but you're not thinking clearly, queen. Let me help you. This is a real... And I said... I know it's true because I do it in the stock market. I'll be green in the trade. Let's say my goal is $1,000 for that trade. I might be up $300. And I'm like, it might touch 1,000 and then come back down to 300. And I'm like, it's going to touch 1,000 again. That 300 will turn into a negative 300 because I didn't take what was given to me. I want the whole 1,000. That does help you continue to go for the big things in life. But at some point, you got to realize it's costing you too much. These 300s could have been seeds to my thousands if I just learned the discipline of collecting 300. I can't even say I can collect 300 consistently because I keep losing it trying to go for the 1,000. You greedy little girl, you. Take the 300. Don't leave here with nothing. I thought your motto was, I'm leaving here with something. Well, why every day you leaving with nothing when you could have left with something? Why every day I'm giving... The oil is just flowing and you won't even bring your vessels. Talking about you want more oil. Here is the oil. The lady, it wasn't. You want to make how much money? The lady had a little bit of oil. I was giving her the vessels. The vessels multiplied supernaturally. She paid off her debt and her kids didn't go to jail because of it. I'm making the oil flow and you won't bring your vessels. That is disrespectful. All of that I just said was for me. But now, Lord, forgive me, Father, for I knew not what it is that I do. It's been brought to my attention that I have lots of oil and lots of vessels. And I am so grateful that you've given me these things and even more things you would give me if I could just see what's in front of me. Thank you, God. Thank you. Celebrate life, guys. I have not been celebrating life. I've been wanting exactly. I'm on a trip, but I want to be on a trip with my man. And I promise you, summer after summer after summer, it's been no trips with my man. And I just get more unhappy about it every time. But I have a trip coming up, and I have several trips coming up. And it's like, what a blessing to be able to travel the world by yourself, with your homegirls, with your mother, with your son. Because when the generation before you went nowhere. Look at you being a globetrotter. Look at you exercising what dominion that the God gave us actually looks like. Look at you being a real Christopher Columbus and not afraid to go travel the world. You don't care about being a U.S. citizen or a Georgia girl. You a world girl. God gave you all of this. All of this is mine. I'm going to go to France and learn how to speak French because it's mine. I'm not anyone's citizen. I'm the daughter of the Most High. The whole world and everything in it belongs to me because of my relationship with him. And that is gratitude. We gotta understand who we are and whose we are and what image we made it and be grateful for it. And part of being grateful for something is moving like it's already yours. Guys, in my morning meetup, I didn't mean to call it that because that sounds like my counterpart's situation. I'm actually trying to decide what to name it. It's either going to be the early bird or the before breakfast club. But in that club, we focus on what I call the bright journeys via mindful growth strategies. And that is just an acronym for how you should start your day. Daily, I start my day like this, and in my community, I give you my resources of what these things are, and I'm there to chit chat and be your accountability partner to make sure that you get it done too. But the B is for Bible, the J in journeys is for journal, the VIA is for visualization, seeing your life in your head intentionally how you want it to be. The mindfulness is meditation, silencing the mind so you can hear from God. Like, I just can't believe churches don't teach us that. Like, you only want me to hear from God through you. They tell us to go home and read and pray. But praying is you talking. Meditation is you listening. We need more of that. The G is for gratitude, writing out a list of things to be grateful for. And the strategy stands for self-help. I always listen to something, an audible, whether it's reading or an audible, something from a self-help book, because all those self-help books come from the Bible, and they just put it in layman's terms and practical applications that just help me as a 21st century woman to understand some things that are biblical sometimes. So when you study from more than one book and cross-reference and make it make even more sense. So yeah, if you are interested in joining that group and having that kind of accountability, we are here for you. Yes, guys. And this has been an episode of the B Word. It has been such a great episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the B Word. Remember, by building belief in yourself, surrounding yourself with supportive relationships, and practicing gratitude, you're not just enduring life challenges, you're building resilience. Embrace these principles and you'll be well on your way to bouncing back, but not only bouncing back, to infinity and beyond. Until next time, keep believing, building, becoming, just be. Last thing I'm going to leave with you, 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18. Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Jesus Christ for you. Peace, billionaires. This episode has been brought to you by Your Accident, Your Money. So if you or anyone you know are ever in a car accident, call us 888-7-MONEY-8. We will not only get them paid for their personal injury settlement, but we pay you for providing us with the referral in the first place if we're able to help them. There's not many qualifying factors other than they cannot be the at-fault driver. It's really the only thing that disqualifies you. And we pay you $100 to $200 per person in that car that we are able to help. So if you're ever in a wreck, let us help you get your check. 888-7-MONEY-8.